Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Today is June 1st, 2023, and I thought it would be a good day to give a market update on how things are looking in our area. So let me show you my screen. There's some charts I'd like to go over with you. So the first chart that we see here is the months of inventory, and this is based in King County. And in the past, I've done similar charts that had just the houses for sale, not necessarily the condos. Today, I've actually combined the two. So this is the inventory for houses and condos. So it's probably a little more accurate statistics, so to speak. And so what I wanted to show you was, gosh, back in about a year ago, in April or May, that was when the Fed started to raise the interest rates, and the lending rates went with it. And you can see as the rates went up, the inventory accrued as well. And the reason for that is that the rates went up at a historically fast rate, and it really slowed our buyers down. And there were still some buyers who were buying, but not as many. A lot of them decided to sit on the sidelines for a bit to see how things went. And thus our inventory increased a significant amount up to, well, compared to where it was. It was at about, back here, we were right around a half month, or up or down depending on the month, but about a half month of inventory. And went up to about 2 to 2.1 through the summer and into the winter. And then we see in January we're at about 2.1 months of inventory. And then come February we went clear down to 1.3. So it's a pretty significant drop, really. And I think the reason for that is I think a lot of buyers, again, had been on the sidelines, and then the holidays hit, so the focus was on family and Christmas and New Year's and all that. And then come January, I think by that time we saw that the rates had somewhat, I think they hit up as high as around low sevens, give or take, if I remember right. And they seem to be hovering in the upper sixes, and then I think honestly buyers kind of got used to that this is kind of the new norm. And as we come out of winter and head into spring, that's often when buyers and sellers come back onto the market, and I think that's basically what happened. So our buyers became much more active, and our inventory went down to, again, about 1.1 to 1.2 months of inventory. So how did that affect our prices? So if we look at the median sales price, and again, median is basically saying that that it's the midpoint. So half the homes sold for a home, half the homes sold for home, half the homes sold for less, and half the homes sold for more. And if we go back to the same time period, back in April and May, we see that we had peaked out at around it's about 882,000 when you combine the houses and condos. That was the median price back then. And then as the inventory increased, we can see that in essence the median home price slowly went down in response to that, because there was more choices for the buyers to have, and there were more buyers than there were sellers. So then it went down to a low in December of 22 of about 725. And then as we again came out of the winter and out of the holidays and into the new year, then the buyers again came back into the market, or a lot of them did. And we see that the median home price has slowly been going up to the point where at the end of last month, we were at about 830,000. So not as high as we were before back here, but we're creeping up on it. And one last chart I wanted to show you. These are actives versus pendings. The blue lines show the active homes for sale on the market, and the green line shows how quickly, or which ones are under contract. So basically, it's kind of a supply and demand chart. Well, as the rates, backing up again, as the rates went up back in April and May, you can see that there were a lot of active homes for sale, but not as many buyers. The buyers again pulled back quite a bit. And then when we hit the winter months, both of them went down to the point where then again in the January of this year is when things started to pick back up again, and you see that the buyers became more active, and more homes went pending. But we also see that more sellers decided to put their homes on the market, and so the inventory has actually gone up some with it, or the amount of homes for sale, and to where they've kind of been keeping pace with each other, basically. And interestingly, right now, our market is basically, it seems to almost be house to house, where some houses or condos are getting multiple offers and the home is escalating above list price, and Sometimes in order to get it, buyers have had to waive inspections and such, kind of like what we were seeing before. But there are some houses in real popular areas that have been going up 50 or 100,000 over list. But I think more often than not, that's not the case. And especially if you get out in the suburbs, I think maybe it escalates for 5 or 10 or 15,000 over rather than 20 or 30 or 40,000 over that we were seeing a year or two ago. So it's a good time to sell if you are a seller. The median price again is going up, and but also if you're a buyer, there are while some homes again you're going to have to compete for, there are other homes that you may not have to compete for that might be able to get the job done for you, and you may actually be able to have a more typical situation where you can get an inspection done and so forth. So that's kind of where we're at right now with our market. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My number is 206-579-5650. Would love to talk to you about where you're at in the process on either the buyer or the selling side. And certainly if you'd like some help, I'd love to help you. So hopefully we'll hear from you, and have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.